Hello, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be doing the July new moon reading for the sign of Virgo. Alright, Virgos, we're going to get right into it and get out your animal spirit card from the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle deck. Let's see what kind of animal spirit you're working with this new moon period. Now, new moon readings are all about new beginnings, right? Starting new adventures, new jobs, new relationships, tying off old situations, perhaps, right? Coming to the end of a long journey and tying it off, ending it, and starting a new journey, right? Sowing seeds, coming up with new ideas, right? So if that's where you're at today, Virgo, then hopefully this is going to resonate with you. All right, so let's just get right into it and get your animal spirit card out. All right, Virgo, your card. Oh, beautiful butterfly. All right, butterfly energy. Transformation. Certainly new, right? Certainly kind of newness. All right, beautiful, beautiful energy. Air energy. Sorry about that little cut. My camera just that second shut off. So, right, we have the butterfly. It's beautiful energy. It's total and utter transformation, right? But oftentimes it's transformation of, it's going through a big change, but oftentimes it's to do with relationships. Because this is the element of air. And so the transformation is in that, I want to say it's in the plane of air, right? It's in that area of air. And the heart, relationships, is all about air energy. It's all swords energy. It's the communication that we have with each other, right? So relationships is air energy, or representative of air energy. And the butterfly is representative of, is the elemental air of total transformation. So oftentimes this can indicate the ending of a relationship or the beginning of a new relationship. It also can indicate some discomfort during this period. So like a cocoon, it's time for you to reach out to your friends and family to help you through this transition, right? Could be that you may be breaking up, you may be divorcing, right? Or you may have, now, when I say also something relationships, right? If you're not in a relationship and it's like you are kind of married to your passion, your career, you know, if your career is where your heart lies, then the transformation will be in the area of career, right? Let's see what the cards say. Butterfly energy is beautiful energy because it does mean that you're becoming a whole new you, right? But it is difficult. It's hard. It can accompany, with it can come some difficulties because it's the relationships that are changing around us. And whenever any kind of relationship changes, it's always difficult to go through, right? You know, and when I say changing, I mean utter transformation. So we're not talking about changing and then changing because like you're dating and now you're getting married. We're not talking about that. We're talking about utter transformation. So oftentimes it can mean like the complete change of a relationship in as much as you no longer are together, or you know the nature of it changes, right? You decide to remain friends, right? Could be also unrequited love. Sometimes could be that you're in love with someone who's not in love with you, and so that's how a relationship can change. Certainly a friendship. So we're gonna look at it all and see what's going on in your reading. All right, Virgo, show me. It's new moon period for Virgo. Show me what's going on. I use the Deviant Moon deck for my lunar readings. That's my new moon and full moon readings. So I love this deck. It's just got a different set of imagery. It's all very, very along the traditional lines. But the imagery of this deck seems to lend itself to the moon readings. Beautiful. 8 of Pentacles. So there's your chin and there's your Strength card coming in, which is what you need right now, certainly through transformation. 9 of Pentacles coming in. So you've got money. You've got money and status right now, Virgo. This isn't, you know, it's not something for you to worry about that, right? You're coming to a point in your life, certainly. Interesting that relationships are changing for you, because 9 definitely talks about, 9 of any suit talks about a certain amount of solitude in that suit, being on your own, being alone. 9 of Pentacles is when you've achieved a lot of success, but look, this character is on his own. He has the status and everything he's worked for. Certainly the abundance is there, but he's realizing that what is the abundance without someone to share? And so they're here in this 9, the 9 of Pentacles. That's what the person is learning or dealing with. So here we go. Let's get into it. At the center, you have 8 of Pentacles. 8 is the number of boundaries, restrictions, strengths, and weaknesses. Right? Interestingly enough, usually you're covered by the 8. Well, you're covered by the 11. You're covered by a strength card, which is the Leo card. In the traditional deck, Leo is always associated with the number 8. In this deck, the Deviant Moon, interestingly enough, is switched with Justice for the number 11. There are decks that switch 8 and 11, Justice and Strength, and this is to do with the various interpretations of the Tree of Life, all right, which I will not bore you with right now. Suffice to say, this is still the card for Leo, and it's still a Strength card. And 8s here, we still talk about in terms of, so you see this character here, he's working away at his craft, right? He's handcrafting these pentacles. So the dedication that is involved, the restrictions that he has to place on himself to be able to remain focused and to put out such a high quality and consistent amount of work, is all about strengths. It's all about being strong, knowing your strengths and weaknesses, right? Not succumbing to the weakness of, for instance, partying all night, drinking, things like that, that you know you can't do if you need to get up for work the next day, right? There's certain indulgences and things that we have to restrict ourselves from. We have to be strong and incorporate that strength, right? The strength to kind of quell our more animalistic urges and desires, right? To remain vigilant so that we can get the tasks done, so we can get on with things, right? So that's very much to do in your world of finances. Interesting, you've got 8 of Wands here. So what I said earlier, if this is not a relationship change transformation, it's ship transformation, right? It could very much be a transformation in your career, right? If what you do is what you love, if you're an artist and the way you make your money is also your passion, then you know, that can often switch roles with your relationships, because many times those type of individuals, their main relationship is with their work, right? So it can very much be, because right now so far we got a lot of energy to do with your career, right? Because right now you're feeling like making a choice, a decision, taking action, but it's being hasty. It's a little hasty. 8 of Wands is a little bit, you know, be careful, take your time, don't rush in. There's other information that you need to know before, you know, you decide to do, you know what I mean? Be, I want to say, disciplined, but also be cautious. You know, restrain yourself from reacting in a way that could be hasty. Wait for more information to come in. You can see the crow there with the note to indicate there's more information that you need before you make your decision here, right? 8 of Wands in the traditional deck is the card with all of the wands shooting in, right? Just the wands coming in from the side. And so it's very much that, you know, it's chaotic energy. Things are coming in quickly, options are coming in quickly, and you feel as though you're almost getting swept up in this chaos in a sense of being made to feel like you have to make this quick decision, this hasty decision. You know, you're almost caught up in the chaos yourself. Take time, wait. Focus. Wait until you know exactly what you're dealing with, because right now it's all very kind of up in the air and chaotic. Swords, Ace of Swords is coming in. So that information is coming in that you need. Right now it's all about, it's very passionate, very excited, very hasty energy, but you're getting information coming in that's going to give you exactly what you need to make the right decision. Certainly going to give you some vindication. Because I know right here with this energy, this is very much your subconscious in the back of your mind. It's kind of like eating away at you. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. And it's like, it's more anxiety. You know, if you wait until you get this Ace of Swords in, it's almost, you know, the decision you make is going to feel even better because you're going to have the proof. And here's the World coming in. So certainly most recently, something's happened to make you reevaluate your life, where you are at in your life. Right? The decisions you're making, where are you on your life in terms of your career? Right? Your career path. Are you where you want to be? You've certainly shown a lot of strength and discipline, right? Certainly. But is it where you want to be? Is it, you know, has it been a life of just knuckling down and putting your nose to the grindstone always, you know? Certainly most recent, right, okay, you've got Hermit energy. I think that what's happened is most recently, somewhere along the line, you started to perhaps, could even be that you're starting to become more creative, right? Something's happened to spark your creativity. A lot of this could be also just creative ideas that are coming in and you're just not used to having that, right? You're used to kind of like being more diligent and working and putting your head down, right? And just being very disciplined. But it almost seems as though this most recently, it could be that, you know, as a result of this information or a result of some information or communication even, you may have had a communication with an old friend or somebody that you know, somebody that knew you once when you used to have fun, right? And it's almost as if you're being reminded of who you used to be, or you're getting like your creative juices are flowing again and you feel really like anxious to get on with that. It's like you've had an epiphany, Virgo. Most recently, you've had some kind of epiphany. You know, you've certainly had this feeling like, wow, you know, okay, I've done this, I've done that, I've achieved this. But it's like your eyes suddenly woke up to something about yourself that you probably never knew. And it sent you certainly into a hermit energy period. This is you showing up in your own reading, right? The hermit is the card is the Virgo card. This is your card, right? So 9, Hermit, Virgo is all about restrictions. It's all about 9s. Well, 8s are certainly about borders and restrictions, but 9s are more to do with your relationship to yourself and kind of the restrictions we put on ourselves, right? How we see ourselves, you know. Doing that internal work, being alone, being solitary, you know, restricting ourselves from being around others because we know we have to do this work on ourselves. It's a spiritual kind of awakening. It's a realization. And even if you have been on a spiritual path your whole life, right, you could have been in your mind a very spiritually aware person, but something has happened most recently is giving you a certain epiphany. And it's almost sent you right back into hermit mode in a way to kind of like, hang on a second, I thought I knew, but I don't know. I need to go back and really find out what this is all about. Where am I really? Who am I really with all of this? You've very much been defined by your work, Virgo, certainly. And I think that part of this epiphany that you're having most recently is that you can find your definition outside of work. You can find it in creative ways. Queen of Swords is coming in. So then in your conscious mind, you're realizing it's time to kind of let go of some masks. Have you been wearing some masks, Virgo? And when I say masks, I don't mean this in any kind of like derogatory way at all. We all wear a certain mask. We all hide certain things from the world around us, from our friends. We have different levels, right? Don't we? We all have different levels of interaction with people, right? Some people will show a certain side of ourselves. Some people we won't. Some people can see all sides of us, right? And some people we don't show them anything. So when I say wearing a mask, because the Queen of Swords is interesting queen, right? She's at the point in the Swords court hierarchy, right? Where she's learned how to be 100% herself, honest to herself and to everyone around her. She's learned in a way that any little falsehood is kind of is damaging to her, you know, is not good for her, you know, and that no matter how hard it can be, oftentimes it can be exhausting to remove that mask and to really get down to who we are. That can be an exhausting amount of work, right? But when you're there, it's like suddenly you have this sense of confidence, self-esteem. You understand very much. You trust your your opinions. You trust what you see. When you get to Queen of Swords, you trust yourself. You trust your inner voice, right? She's the one that when you come in front of her, you have to be honest and truthful and real with her, because she will get it out of you. She can see right through any BS, but a lot of that ability to do that is because of everything that she's gone through herself, because of all the internalized struggles that she's gone through and lessons that she's learned about herself. And so she understands that and she sees that in others. And it's one of the reasons why it makes her, Queen of Swords comes up in a reading when you're done, with any kind of falsehoods or fakeness or pretending you're someone that you're not for any reason, whether, you've been made to feel that way by society or your family or whatever. Queen of Swords shows up when the individual, the querent, which is you, is at a point in their lives where they're free from any need to be anyone but who they are, right? You don't feel like you need to be anybody but yourself, who you really are. You don't pull any punches. When people come into your space, they need to be as, they need to conduct themselves to a certain standard of honesty, or you'll let them know. You will let them know, right? And they won't, you just won't tolerate any falsehood or any fakeness around you anymore. And I think part of that is the epiphany that you most recently had that sent you into kind of to this hermit energy to almost evolve, I want to say, out of the hermit into the Queen of Swords like a butterfly. This could be very much your transformation. And as a result, you're having certainly a transformation when it comes to relationships, because Queen of Swords. Swords is all about relationships, right? Don't get it confused. Cups is about the heart, feelings of love, anxiety, anger, right? Relationships, communication and relationships is all the world of swords and air. And so here we are with Ten of Swords. We're at as a result of this whole kind of work that you've done, this epiphany, this little shadow work that's coming in. And this is all over this new moon period, by the way. You realize that you're done. You're done with arguing. You're done with a certain part of your life. You are done. You are certainly ready to start something new. And this is all in the way of how you deal with people, how you relate with people. Ten of Swords is at the end of a long journey where you've been injured a lot. You've had a lot of battles. You've got battle scars, but it's now time for you to take all those swords out and let those wounds heal. Let those wounds heal and evolve and come out a new person. Ten of Swords certainly kills the old ego. It is absolutely the death of the old you, always. And the birth of a new you. But a new you who's learned lessons and who's learned how certain decisions, certain modus operandi, certain patterns of behavior has got them in some of the issues and troubles that they were in. And so what happens is, as a result of tying this off and putting a period to this, a line under it, and ending it, you're now a new person. You've learned those lessons. You're not going to make those same mistakes with people that you made before. And here comes the Three of Swords. So the heartbreak could be very much that you have heartbreak. Something's going to happen coming up. This is coming in. So it could be that as a result of this change, as a result of kind of the new you and the new queen, this Queen of Swords energy is very much like we'll dice through the bullshit. Could be that you get to the bottom of a scenario and then, okay, here comes your relationship transformation, because you may be finding out that somebody's been dishonest with you and you didn't have any idea up until now. Yeah, right? So that's certainly, you've been putting your head down to work. You've been showing strength and discipline. But like I say, something's happened most recently. Could be that this epiphany was some information coming in about a relationship. Could be that maybe you found out something that you weren't quite sure about. Maybe you already had inklings that you're involved in a relationship where someone is cheating or being dishonest, right? And so when you got this information coming in, could be this Ace of Swords that came in that clears it all up. Remember I said, you feel like you want to make a quick decision down here. Well, now this Three of Swords kind of clarifies it all. Because certainly if you feel like, if you've been going through a difficult time in a relationship, maybe you got some information coming in about somebody cheating or doing something, it's made you kind of giving you a little bit of vindication because you knew something was going on, but you didn't want to act on it until you had the information, right? But now you're putting one and one together, two and two together, and now the epiphany comes in that, hang on a second, what have I been doing this whole time with this person? Who am I? Who am I? And on my path. So you're having this really big moment, right? This really weird, this real world moment where you're kind of like, you know, reevaluating everything now as a result of this. Going into your hermit and coming out with your Queen of Swords. So now you're ready to have that conversation and cut through the bullshit. You're ready to put an end to this long-term, could be this relationship has been a pain in your ass for a long time, and now you finally have the Queen of Swords energy to cut through it and put an end to it, which is your Ten of Swords. But here it comes, Three of Swords here. So finally, it's like, yeah, I cheated on you. Yeah, I lied to you. Now comes it all comes kind of out in the open, right? And it's like, yeah, it's a heartache. It's a breakup. We're not getting back together. It's a transformation of a relationship as a result of all of this that's happened, right? And outcome from that, you have Four of Pentacles, right? So in this case, somebody's being very miserly and greedy. Could be that when you put an end to this relationship, your person tries to take all the money and run. You're certainly the one who's successful. You're the one who's successful in your own right. So if you are going through this, if this is like a divorce or separation or something, take care, because once you get through this whole period and it does all come out that this relationship is over, that you know about their cheating ways, that you have proof and that you're changing and moving on, they will certainly try to take the money. All right? I think they will. I think when the cards are all on the table, as it were, and that's the transformation, I think, that's going to be very difficult for you, Virgo, because you're going to suddenly see a side of your mate that you never saw before until now. And that's the money side, the grubby side, the, you know, as soon as things, you know, work out for them, or as soon as they're caught, suddenly they're like this really kind of dark individual. And so your whole relationship is going to change and transform, but like I said, in a way that is quite difficult. This isn't just like breaking up energy, right? So it's transformation. And so now we see in the cards what we're talking about. It's not only just breaking up with somebody, but it's the transformation of the whole relationship, your whole level of respect. You don't respect them anymore. You don't trust them. You don't believe them. It's completely changed, right? It's not just a breakup. It's a complete transformation. And through that transformation, you have learned some things, right? Yeah, this is definitely a period right now. This new moon period, it's new for you because you are a new person in the way that you're dealing with this individual. And like I said, new moon readings are also about tying up old stuff, old paths, old energy, old karmic journeys that now need to be done, tied off, a bow put on it, an underline, a period, and goodbye, because it's time for you to move forward. And this is exactly what it is for you right now, Virgo. You need to tie this up with this individual. You've got the info coming in, everything that I've said. But in order for you to move forward to your next life, this transformation has to happen. And you're going to learn a lot out of this. Excuse me. Certainly you're going to learn how strong you are. But this needs to happen for you to get to your next relationship, your next stage in life, the next positive thing for you, because this relationship is certainly time to change. It's certainly time for a change. All right, my lovely Virgos, I hope this resonated with you. Please sound off below in the comments. Let me know if you're going through something like this. I love responding to your comments. If you have this type of situation or something similar, you want to go a little bit deeper, you can always book a 30 or 60-minute session with me. Just follow that link at the bottom of your screen. Please like, subscribe, and share, all of that good stuff. You know the drill. It helps my channel grow. It helps me to reach more and more of you people out there that I can touch with my readings, that I can help perhaps, you know, and give you some clarity. All right, so this is our tribe, and I'm trying to make it grow, and I love you all being a part of it. So for right now, Virgo, I'm going to say have a wonderful, wonderful July new moon. Bye-bye.